Hey, you guys, I'm super duper excited to see you. I'm not seeing you though, am I? You're seeing me. Woo! Okay. Hey, you guys. Hey, welcome to the Karen Kenney Show. Hey, you guys. I'm super du Wait, do I have oatmeal in my teeth? Oh my God, it's been a day. It's been a day. Woo! Okay, and we're back. Okay, so this suck is going to be super duper short. I'm getting ready to head out to teach yoga class, and there's just something that was on my mind, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna share this. I was gonna let it, um, just kind of sit with me a little bit before I opened my mouth, and then I was like, no, 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 I'm just gonna come hot off the presses. So one of the things that I see so many people doing, causing their own suffering. This is just little, this is like a mini little love letter from my heart to yours. I'm going to share a quote with you. I'm going to share a couple of quotes with you that I have found extremely helpful over the years. But I just know that so many people, right? They sometimes will wake up in the morning and they're already trapped. They're already caught in the trap of the way that their mind likes to travel backwards in time. So I say to my clients all the time, oh, you're future casting or you're time traveling, right? And so the mind, the brain, because the brain likes to kind of navigate the world. First of all, it hates uncertainty and it's not a huge fan of change. So it kind of likes to like look at everything through the lens of what does it already know and what does it already experience. And so a lot of times we'll wake up in the morning and we're already kind of like going backwards and dragging yesterday, what had happened yesterday and the stuff that happened before this moment, like before today. And that could be, that could be, the day before, a week ago, 20 years ago, right? And so a lot of times we love to drag that shit, the stuff that maybe we're not proud of, the stuff that we blew, like we blew it with stuff we didn't get right, the places where we were clumsy, the places where, it's the ego is trying to impress upon us some sort of guilt or shame or regret or something like that. Okay. So when I find that my ego's trying to be wicked sneaky, now here's the deal. There is some shit that we're going to do in our lives that we do have to look at, we do have to own, and that's important. I'm not saying we just take the things that we've done and we don't make amends and we don't try to be better. I'm not saying that. But there's just going to be times just in being human where we're going to make some mistakes. And yes, it's important that we acknowledge them and then not just maybe verbally say, I'm sorry, but then try to do better. But here's the thing. It doesn't do you or anybody else any good if we insist on dragging all that old stuff forward and then continue to beat ourselves up about it, right? This often shows up as like self-hatred, inner criticism, self-judgment, attack on the self. Did I already say low self-esteem? Like there's these things that will often happen because we are judging ourselves so harshly. Okay. So here's a quote that I've always found wicked helpful. Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he says this. He says, finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day, and you shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. I love this so much. First of all, it makes me laugh. And laughter is an immediate pattern interrupt for me. Like it jolts me out of my bullshit loop factor that can happen in my brain, right? So laughter for me is a powerful pattern interrupt of bumping me out of my own kind of like navel gazing of like, I blew it. I made a mistake. I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, those things are going to happen, right? Because we're human and we're not perfect. And mistakes are how we learn. Mistakes are how we grow. Mistakes are how we do better next time. Okay. I'm going to read that quote to you again before I sign off, but I just want you to hear this. And the other quote that I have found wicked, wicked helpful over the years is it's a quote from A Course in Miracles. And I'm paraphrasing, but here's the essence. Here's the heartbeat of it, right? Anytime you don't drag your past into the present moment, you are reborn. To me, I see this, right? This isn't like holy roller, like born again Christian talk. This is, and I'm not bagging on that, like to each his own. I'm just saying that that word reborn, I know it can trigger stuff, right? I'm doing air quotes. It can trigger stuff in people. But anytime you don't drag your past into the present moment, you're reborn because it's like you're seeing anew. It's like you're meeting yourself with fresh eyes and a fresh experience. You're meeting other people. When we don't take our old nonsense and insist on dragging it into the present moment, and it's so important that we're not doing that because what we're thinking and focusing on and talking about and who we're being is also going to affect our future. So we don't want to keep dragging our nonsense past into the now, right? So anytime we don't drag our past into the present, we are reborn. But you know what else is reborn? Our relationships. And I was saying this to somebody the other day, somebody who's in the nest. We were talking about just people, family members, whatever, people who you have history with. And whenever people are saying to me like, oh God, I got to see my family at Christmas or Thanksgiving, or I got to X, Y, and Z with a sibling or an old coworker, whatever the thing is, somebody who you have history with. It's a really fun experiment to try to pack your bags and your judgments and your stories and your boxes, those small boxes, right? That we love to put people in, where we don't let them grow or change or be different. I said, what if you could meet them as if you were meeting them for the first time? What if you could show up at this event or go to this thing, right? And meet these people or this person as if you're meeting them for the first time. Like, what if you were to meet them without all your stories and all your history and all your baggage? Now, look, of course, there's going to be some history we have with people where we're not that interested in doing kumbaya time with them. You know what I mean? I'm not saying put yourself in relationship to danger and like to tolerate nonsense. Don't be a doormat. There's nothing spiritual about that. I'm just saying though, what if in our hearts there was some desire for repair and to see somebody anew? Like what might it be like if we just tried to meet people with fresh eyes? I mean, I think it's worth trying. I think it's a good experiment. And if you try it, I would love to know how it goes for you. And I try to do this sometimes in my own life. It's like, what would my experience be like if I stopped showing up with my bag of judgments, with all of my attacks and my opinions and my proof, my quote unquote proof of how they're a dick or something? You know what I mean? Because how we do things in one situation often carries over, which means I'm also often doing that to myself. If we're being wicked harsh on other people, we tend to also be harsh on ourselves. So what if we could just finish the day, as Emerson says, and be done with it? Okay. Try it on and just see. Like I said, this is going to be a really short episode. It was just on my mind, and I wanted to like plunk, just a little poop, little poop, little poop, just drop this into your consciousness and your awareness, and tell me how you feel about that. Like when you hear that, meet them as if you were meeting for the first time, like clean slate, fresh eyes, right? Like, tell me how your body responds to that. Like, does your face scrunch up? Like, no, no, too much has happened, KK. You don't know. And notice how if the ego wants to go into all its stories, just pay attention, no judgment. Let me know how it goes. All right, I'm going to read this one more time. Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. And this line is interesting and important because you have done what you could. And when I think about this, it's like, yeah, because if I could have done better at that moment, right, I would have, but I didn't. I did what I could in that moment with what I had, with my energy level, how much sleep I got. Was I rested? Was I hungry? Was I cranky? Was I hormonal? Like what was going on, right? Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities, no doubt, crept in. Right? Double amen hands. It's true. It probably has. Forget them as soon as you can, though. Like just put them in the rear view mirror. Of course, make amends if you really weren't kind or hurtful to somebody, of course, right? Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it. I love this. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. And one of the great ways that we can start our day unencumbered, right, by our old nonsense and with a really high spirit is to have a DSP, a daily spiritual practice. You start your day off that way, aligning your mind with God, with source, with the creator, with universe, with whatever you want to call it, the higher power, like your highest self, right? Your goodness, capital G goodness, whatever it is. You start your day there, right? You see me doing the alignment, the assignment is alignment. You start your day there. It's way easier to put that nonsense in your rearview mirror and say, well, today is a new day. And today I'm going to do it a little bit better than I did it yesterday. All right. I hope this was helpful for in some way. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. If you want to find out what I'm up to and what's going on, just sign up, get on my email list, get little newsletters. You'll get this podcast right into your inbox every Thursday morning. And you just do Karen Kenney, KENNEY /sign up. All right, you guys, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for listening and tuning in wherever you go. May you leave yourself, the people, the places, the animals, the environment better than how you first found it. Wherever you go, may you and your presence and your energy be a blessing. Bye.